I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
Time for the Peddling Fiction podcast, a jet ski list Friday for yours truly, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me, sporting a brand new whip, is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. You have any idea how fucking jealous I am that you can just, at the fucking snap of your fingers, pick up a new a new thing with no goddamn problems? You son of a bitch.
What's really funny about it is, like, Wednesday, I started kind of looking at stuff because my truck
two whole days. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. My truck is a full quad cab Dodge Ram 1500 with the Hemi and everything. And I mean, since I had the engine rebuilt and all the work done to it, it gets about 20 miles a gallon. But still, I drive a fucking lot, and 20 miles a gallon with a 30-gallon tank. When I'm driving 65 miles one way to work, that, you know, and then the kids have all their stuff all the time. Like, I'm putting a lot of fucking gas in this thing and spending a lot of money on gas. So the other day I told Stephanie, I was like, I'd like to look for a used car, find something, you know, decently priced that gets good gas mileage, like something cheap. And I sent her a couple things that I had been looking at, and she sent me a couple that she found. And so I went and I got to talking to the guy, the best looking one of the bunch. I got to talking to the guys, like, when could I come see this? Like, I messaged him yesterday morning. I was like, could I come see it this afternoon or maybe tomorrow morning? He said, yeah, you can come tomorrow morning. I'm busy today. I was like, okay, cool. So first thing this morning, took the nephew to the school and dropped him off, and then went straight up there, met with the guy, looked at the car, drove it around a little bit, and we got back to our trucks. And I was like, you got any other, like, offers or anybody else looking at it? He said, I got another one looking at it later today, but he's like, first come, first serve. You make me an offer. He said, if I like it, we'll do it. I was like, all right, I'll give you $3,000 for it. And he put his hand out. He said, all right. So we did it. Like, I went and he signed everything over to me, and I went and got the paperwork taken care of. And when we get done with this, me and Sean are going to go pick it up. And that's like easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Wow. That would be the exact opposite of my experience so far. Over a month of back and forth, these motherfuckers. Then I hop in a goddamn Uber and drive like 35 fucking minutes to the middle of nowhere. I had to ask it wasn't Uber, it was a InDrive, which is like Uber, but you pay cash. I had to ask this lady, I was like, hey, can you just stay here for 10 minutes? Because, like, if you leave, I am fucking stranded. And should we pull up the pictures of how fucking beat to shit these fucking jet skis were? Unbelievable. Yeah, maybe I'll share my screen for those of you that give a shit. Probably nobody gives a shit, but is it this one? Yeah. Look at the fucking ride plate on this thing. For anybody that doesn't know, the number one red flag when you're looking to buy a used jet ski that's been used in the ocean with salty water is corrosion. And we're looking at the ride plate of this thing. it is completely fucked, completely corroded, which means, you know, they left it at a minimum. They left the bottom of the ski sitting in salt water for, I don't know. That's a long time. That's a lot of fucking damage right there at a minimum. But you know, who knows if they've been, you have to flush the engine to get all that corrosion out of there every time you use it as well. So if it's sitting like that, you can't trust that they haven't completely fucked the engine. They'd also broken off a side panel. I was telling you, like, they crashed into something. These people are fucking retards. And none of that was in the pictures, of course, which is why you go look at these things. So that's going to be a no for me. And then I went and looked at one this morning, and this guy was being kind of a fucking dick about it, like trying to pressure. He's like, oh, I got somebody else looking at it, and I'm leaving Wednesday. You know, he's like trying to put the fucking clock on me. And I saw this fucking ad like 2.5 months ago. It's been up there, and his price was high, and he came down immediately on it. So I was like, oh, you got another person looking, but you just shaved 50,000 pesos off of this? Okay. And I go look at that, and he's got the same fucking problem. Not nearly as bad, but still signs of corrosion, rust, poor maintenance overall. And so that's where we sit today. I thought I was going to buy that one tomorrow. Not the one I just pictured you, but the one I looked at today, because this guy was talking about how good of condition it was in. And yeah, not really. Not for a fucking 3-year-old thing that only has 28 hours on it. He's got gashes all on one side of it. The fucking hull had some pretty, like, it was all fucking scratched up and shit. It's like, I don't know, dude. These people are just trashing things. That first one I showed you, dude, that's like, to buy that ski new here, which is what they did, it's like a $25,000 jet ski. Yeah. Damn. It only had 19 hours. They fucked it up that badly. It's unbelievable.
Well, maybe after all the deportations go through, they'll be able to have people available that they can pay to maintain their shit. Speaking of,
that's the thing. I think they were. Well, I don't know about that. The really bad one. I don't know who was maintaining that, but this other guy, I think, is like paying some other Mexican to maintain it. And it's like, yo, dude, like, he's not doing a good job. You got one job: wash and flush the ski after you use it. And if you don't do that, you destroy the fucking engine.
Speaking of the deportations, this was a funny little video I came across today. For those who are just listening, it's a girl posting a video. It says, my aunt just got deported, and my dad told me with fucking AI Trump.
I'm sorry to announce that Aunt Maria has been deported. Aunt Maria thought it was a good idea to sell mangoes outside the Home Depot. The ICE agents got her. No one knows how they found her, but your father never liked her very much, so it's not so bad if you think about it. Anyways, Mom is hosting a goodbye party this Saturday for the familia. Please bring your aunt a gift to take back home. Yapper.so.
Oh, man. Dad's got a sense of humor. That's pretty fucking funny. That's pretty goddamn funny. Selling mangoes outside the Home Depot. You know, I do, like, it would be nice if more stuff was sold on the side of the road when you're just on these, like, bumblefuck roads in the middle of nowhere.
Do Mexicans not do that down there? Is that like...
Oh, yeah. No, they absolutely do that here.
I was going to say,
get, like, the best fucking deals. Yeah. Like, the last time I took, like, a kind of a trip, I went to San Sebastian del Oeste here. It's kind of like, you know, like an hour and a half into the mountains to kind of cool off. And dude, like all along the fucking road, they're selling like fruit and dude, the taco stand was 5 tacos for 45 pesos. Like those are prices from fucking 15 years ago. Now you're lucky to get a taco for 25 pesos. One. Of course, there's no inflation.
The best tamales I ever had was a little old white lady in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, that just had a booth like on the corner in this little podunk town. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't mind that. I know businesses get all pissed because, like, oh, you know, they because they didn't jump through any of the fucking regulatory hoops that the government put in place. And so they can just fucking undercut them with a little fucking, roach coach on the side of the road. That's not their fault that the government fucked you. That's like what I was arguing with this guy over the price of his jet ski. He's like, oh, I paid $325 for it from a dealer. I was like, well, shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have paid that fucking price. And then trashed it. But yeah, I mean, the businesses, I know they get super pissed when all these illegals are selling things out on the street because they don't have a light. They're not paying for the license and they're not jumping through all the regulatory hoops. But like that, to me, I don't give a shit, dude. I want more things. I want more options, not less.
Get some gray markets going.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where we should go from there. Well, I guess Trump did purge 275,000 illegals from the books of Social Security, and that apparently has everybody in it. Dude, my Twitter timeline is just inundated with Social Security posts from like stupid fucking retards. Go ahead and can we play the clip?
Last month, I signed one big, beautiful bill and allowed no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, okay? So how's that? Not bad, right? No tax on Social Security for our seniors. And to protect our benefits, we've already kicked nearly 275,000 illegal aliens off of the Social Security system. These are people, many of them have already left the country, and yet we were sending them checks all the time. And 275,000, and that number is now even larger than that, frankly. It's an unbelievable job. And what that's doing is making the system strong. It's making it strong. Biden never kicked anybody off. Everybody joined. And we're carrying out historic deportations to remove many more illegals committing Social Security fraud. It's the Social Security fraud that was taking place at levels that nobody's ever seen. We cleared 12.4 million names listed in the Social Security database over 120 years of age. Think of that. So we had 12.4 million names where they were over 120 years old. Is that right? That's a hell of a statement. I have a feeling, Dan, that's not really really didn't happen, did it? So you have 12.4 million names listed in the Social Security database that were over 120 years of age, meaning you were breaking records, because I've never heard of anybody at 125. There were nearly 135,000 people listed who were over 160 years old, and in some cases getting payments. So somebody's getting those payments, and we're after that.
So, to the layman, that all sounds pretty good. I should say to like the right-leaning layman, that all sounds pretty good. I guess you're wondering, how is the left going to attack him for doing this? I've seen one guy said they already knew. What did he say? It came out that the Social Security admin knew about all those names, all the 12.4 million. And none of them were getting payments. It was just too expensive to delete them. So that's the talking point that they're going with.
Bernie Sanders is coming out supporting Social Security.
Of course.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. This week, we're celebrating the 90th anniversary of Social Security, the most popular and successful government program in our nation's history. For nearly 9 decades, through good...
Hang on.
Yeah.
How do we qualify success? Is success strictly qualified on how much money gets sent out? Because if that's the only metric that we're using to measure, yeah, it's been wildly successful. How much fraud do we have? How much money is this off? How much money is this thing actually like generated in terms of being sustainable? Like it's not a self-sustaining system. So like it's a massive failure if you look at it from any actual like measurable business metric. But I mean, if they're just talking about how much money has this thing sent out, yeah, I mean, tons of money has gone out. That's the way that government measures success, is how much money did we spend, not how much value was created, not how efficient was the system that we created. It's how much money did we spend.
Yeah, or even better yet, how do you define popular? Because everybody's forced into it. It's like, yeah, everybody has to use it.
Yeah,
So,
everybody participates in Social Security, which means it's wildly popular. It's like, you don't even give me a fucking option. Like,
yeah.
I can change everything else on my fucking W-4 on my tax forms, but I cannot opt out of Social Security.
Yeah. So if you really want to figure out how popular this program is, Bernie, make it voluntary, and then we'll see. And then we'll fucking see if 20-year-olds want to start paying into the world's largest fucking Ponzi scheme. I had a great exchange with Grok on somebody's post about Social Security. If you guys want to check to it, I won't go into the whole thing, but basically somebody asked Grok if it was like a Ponzi scheme, if it was like a fraudulent Ponzi scheme. He's like, well, yeah, it is a Ponzi scheme, but it's, you know, it's legal, and so it's not like fraudulent. And then I basically got Grok to admit that it was fraudulent. So it's absolutely fucking fraudulent. What they do with that I was like, so Grok, this Social Security trust fund lockbox thingy, that's full of everybody's money that they contributed to Social Security. He's like, well, no, it's full of treasury bills, special issued treasuries. I was like, okay, and so when those come due, like whose obligation are those treasury bills? He's like, well, the federal government would have to pay them when they come due. And I was like, and they're counting it as an asset in the Social Security trust fund? He's like, yeah. So it's simultaneously an asset and a liability. Is that if I were to do that, would that be considered fraud if I wrote myself a check for $1 million and went around telling everybody I was a millionaire? And he's like, yep, you're right. The whole fucking thing is fraudulent. It's completely bankrupt. And on top of that, it's just a terrible deal. Even if it wasn't, even if they did just take the money from you and put it in a lockbox somewhere and saved it for you until you made it to 65, it's still a fucking horrible return on your investment. Absolutely fucking terrible. You'd have to live to like 85 to get like a 2% return or something. Like, it's terrible. If you were to just and they keep talking about how everybody's well people depend, you know, Pocahontas was out there like 40% of people depend on Social Security for like half of their because you've stolen half of their fucking income from the age of 15 to 65. If they were given the opportunity to use that money to try to, I don't know, invest it themselves or have somebody else invest it for them, or maybe they use it to start a business. Maybe they use it to fucking, you know, invest in real estate or something like that. Who knows what they would have done with it? All I know is that they would have done better than spending every single penny, which is what the government did. They would have probably saved at least $1 themselves for retirement. The government hasn't saved anything. It all goes into the general revenue fund, and then they piss it away on all their bullshit popular programs, and they issue a treasury bill in its place. So when they spend the money that was supposed to be for your retirement, they're like, oh yeah, we'll put this little IOU away in the Social Security trust fund. And then when that comes due, what do they do to pay that IOU off? Well, they issue another IOU. They issue another treasury bill. It's nothing but a fucking Ponzi scheme that's based on fraud that you're forced into. And I got Grok to admit that it was better to be, you know, to have private Ponzi schemes that are voluntary. At least you have the choice to not get involved in them, versus one that you're coerced into being involved with for the rest of your fucking life. It's just a terrible fucking program. Any way you look at it, it's horrible. And I made the point on Twitter. Because the second you talk about privatizing, which to the extent we have it, yes, I think it should be privatized, but I think we should work on getting rid of this thing altogether. All these people are like, oh, we don't want to privatize it because that's apparently that just means it's going to fail or something. I'm not exactly sure what their argument is against privatization, but if you don't understand,
Bernie talks about privatization.
Okay, let's go ahead and let him roll.
Times in bed, Social Security has paid out every benefit owed to every eligible American on time and without delay. In a world of complexity and uncertainty, Social Security has done exactly what its name implies. It has provided rock-bottom security for our nation's elderly and disabled. Before Social Security was signed into law, half of seniors in America lived in poverty. Today, although the rate is still too high, that figure is now 10%. But despite its success, people like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and others have been working overtime to try to dismantle Social Security and undermine the confidence that the American people have in it.
Do the American people actually have any confidence in Social Security? Like, anybody our age or younger already knows, like, there's no way I'm ever going to claim Social Security benefits at any point in my life. I'm going to work till I'm fucking dead. Also, before Social Security, half of elderly folks were in poverty. Like, whose fault was that? Like, people aren't supposed to have any accountability for their future.
What percentage of people overall lived in poverty?
Right.
Social Security. We're talking like pre-1930s. Like, people were in the pre-1900, people were living on like $2 a day. Okay, I mean, yeah, they just keep parroting these talking points. Oh, it's so successful and it pays out everything on time. It's paying you back with money that is worth substantially less than the money they took from you, and more so today than ever. Every fucking year they promise to take 2% of your purchasing power away. So imagine, somebody want to do the math on that? Do 40 years at 2%. And then you get paid back the nominal dollar amount. What are you going to be able to buy with it? What are you going to be able to buy with it when they keep fucking borrowing trillions of dollars? National debt. What's the national debt going to be at, Justin, when we're 65? Assuming we make it there, by the way. Like, tomorrow's not guaranteed. You know, there's going to be 100 trillion. Probably a lot more than that, actually, if they keep going at this rate. What are these dollars going to be worth? What are you going to be able to buy with it? There's no way the rate of return keeps up with the inflation that they're creating by spending on all these government programs. There's no justification to call this a success, other than the fact that, yes, they continue to print money and give it to people. Oh, wow, that's really hard to do. It's the easiest fucking thing to do ever, as long as you have a printing press. How hard is that? These motherfuckers. Okay, what else does he talk about? Undermine the confidence. Yeah, to your point, if you have confidence in this Ponzi scheme, you're retarded. You're absolutely retarded. They've already and to say, speaking of success, this started out as 1%, a 1% tax from you and a 1% tax from your employer, which all else being considered, it would just be 2% from you because your employer factors that in. So the first people that got in on the Ponzi scheme early, like every Ponzi scheme, got to cash out, and they only paid 2% into it. Well, now what are we paying? 12? At one point, it was like 15%. I think they might have lowered it back down to 12.5 or something like that. It's like 7% from you, 6%, something like that, and 6% from your employer. So we're paying, I don't know, 10, 15 times what initially was the rate was supposed to be. And up until apparently this big, beautiful bill, you had to pay taxes on it. The tax rate's been going up. It's not a fucking success. It's not a fucking success at all. Motherfucker. Okay, yeah, let keep rolling. Let's see what else this fucking retard has to say.
Trump took office. His administration has fired at least 7,000 employees at the Social Security Administration, shut down Social Security field offices, and made it more difficult for seniors and the disabled to receive the benefits they have earned over the telephone. Trump and Musk and others have also absurdly suggested that millions and millions of people who are between the ages of 150 and 360 years of age are receiving Social Security checks. That is a lie, an unmitigated lie, and just a way to try and make people lose confidence not only in the Social Security system, but in their own government. The reality is that well over 99% of Social Security checks go to the people who have earned those benefits. No one who is 150 or 300 years of age is collecting Social Security. A blatant lie. Our job today is
Because
to
he
stop
says so?
any and all efforts to destroy Social Security.
All right, hang on. I found the data. So apparently Democrats have been making this claim about in 1935, 50% of the elderly population was living in poverty. And now it's around 10%, 9.4% is the actual official number that they go with. And they've been making this claim since 2008. So if you look at statistical data, okay. So yes, around 50% of the elderly population lived in poverty in 1935 before Social Security went into effect. 69% of the total population lived in poverty in 1935 before Social Security went into effect. So, like, the elderly were actually doing better than most of the rest of the country, statistically, at that time. But that, like, they don't give you the full, and that's from PolitiFact's fact checker. So there was a PolitiFact fact checker from 2010 where Bernice Johnson made a speech on the House floor, gave the number of the 50% of the elderly population living in poverty in 1935, and that officially is 10% now. This is the PolitiFact fact checker. It showed that in 1935, where did it go? Yeah, 64.9% of the population, of the entire population, lived in poverty at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yes.
Important
so
perspective.
And naturally, PolitiFact fact checks Bernice Johnson's statement as true because technically it's true, but it takes out of context the fact that the rest of the population was also living in poverty.
Yeah. And really, like, back to this is the most successful program. I guess from the government's perspective, it is because it traps people in dependency. Like, imagine if you were able to keep whatever, call it 15% of your income for 40 years, for 40 years of working, what you'd be able to do with that. And if they take it from you and then they let you cut, you have to keep going back to them to make sure that you can get your monthly fucking stipend from the goddamn government. I know I've said this probably many times on the podcast. That's like how a fucking pimp treats his whores. They give him, like, the pimp doesn't let him take all the money at once, does he? No, he gives them a little bit so they can keep them fucking, they got to keep coming back. Got to keep coming back with their fucking handout. You got to keep electing them so that they don't take away your benefits, right? This is all a fucking trap. They take your fucking money from you. They blow it on a bunch of bullshit and line their pockets in the process. And then do you get it all at once? All your money back at 65? Oh, no. Just a little bit. Just a couple grand every month. You have to live for another fucking 20 years to get your money back. It's disgusting. It's a fucking absolute, it's one of the worst fucking government programs of all time. It is going to lead the way towards bankrupting the U.S. And I mean, if people do not understand how Social Security actually functions, this is the point I was making on Twitter this morning when I was sitting in an hour-long traffic jam trying to go look at a jet ski. If you don't understand how Social Security actually functions, then I don't see how you could be arguing against privatizing it or getting rid of it. Really, if you don't understand Social Security, how they really actually implement it. And if you do understand what they're actually doing, and you still think like Bernie Sanders that this is the greatest program since sliced bread and we should keep it going, then you're literally retarded, because there's no redeemable qualities of this whatsoever. None.
You want to hear more from Bernie, or you want to move on?
Sure. We got time? Yeah, we got time. A little more. I'm a
Little
glutton for punishment.
But not only that, we're going to strengthen and expand Social Security benefits. And that is what the Keep Billionaires Out of Social Security Act that I am introducing this week is all about. This legislation would reverse all of the cuts that the Trump administration has made to the Social Security Administration.
All right, look, I know we've talked about this before. So Bernie puts forth this shit that is just to grandstand and posture and show that he cares. Bernie, in his entire career in the Senate, has had 2 things actually passed that he's sponsored or co-sponsored. And both of those were renaming post offices. That's literally it. He has not put forth any other fucking legislation that passed at any point in his entire career. What does this motherfucker do? Like, this is what he does. He postures, he grandstands, he puts stuff forward that isn't ever going to pass, that has no legs, that has no support. He gives his like, what is it? Just gives like a token vote against stuff to say he voted against it when it doesn't matter. Like, it's going to pass anyway. Or like he stands on principle when there's nothing to be lost by doing so. Like, the dude is
and then he folds like a cheap suit when it really counts. Yeah, dude, how are they going to expand and strengthen Social Security? How can you do that? By getting rid of the billion.
Prevent the Trump people from shutting down Social Security field offices in America. It would make it easier, not harder, for seniors and people with disabilities to receive the benefits they have earned over the phone.
Didn't he already say that 100% of everything that was supposed to be paid out gets paid out? So why do we need to make it easier to receive?
Yeah, but you remember like 6 months ago when Doge was like, yeah, we're looking to fire like all these employees, and then people were like, oh, everyone's like, nobody can get a hold of anybody at the Social Security offices, and they were like recording these fucking phone calls saying that they missed their benefits or something. It was all bullshit. Yeah, I don't know.
And let me tell you something. Each and every year, some 30,000 people with disabilities die. They die while waiting for their Social Security benefits to be approved. And Trump's cuts will make this terrible situation even worse. We cannot and must not allow that to happen. But that's not all we must do. At a time when 22% of seniors are trying to survive on less than $15,000 a year, imagine that. 22% of seniors trying to survive on $15,000 a year.
Wait, I thought the senior poverty rate was only 10%, 9.4%. Now we got 22% that are trying to survive on just $15,000 a year. That's not considered dude.
That is the poverty line, I think.
Like, get your fucking stats together. Good God.
Yeah, well, maybe if Bernie didn't take all their money from them for the last fucking 50 years, they'd have something in their bank account.
Nearly half of older workers have no retirement savings. Our job
took it from them.
Must not
took all their fucking savings.
Maybe if you let them put their saving or their, the money they're paying into Social Security into savings, then they would have something there. Maybe if you didn't tax their eyeballs out on everything else, Like federal withholdings are fucking insane as well. I was just looking at my last paycheck and how much got held out for Social Security and all that stuff, and then how much got like. If I could have all of that money, like I have $1,000 per paycheck withheld for taxes. That's
right.
20.
Even
that's
if you just had it in like a fucking high yield savings account, paying you like 4%, they consider that high yield now, which is fucking horseshit.
Right.
But again, that's on the government. And yeah, okay, a 4% a year compounding, like you'd be doing much better than whatever they're gonna fucking give you at the end of your Social Security. And you can't fucking touch it until you're 65, and you don't get it all at once. You just get a little bit each month. That's fucking criminal, dude. That's the worst goddamn deal I've ever heard. We're going to take hundreds of thousands of dollars from you. We'll give it back to you $1,500 at a time, every month. Fuck that, dude. You have any idea, like you fucking idiots out there, have any idea the opportunity cost of $100,000? Just starting at 65, if I gave you $100,000 versus me giving you $1,000 a month until you fucking die, you have any idea how much more you could earn using the $100K? You'd be able to get so much more just from fucking interest and or dividends every month than your actual Social Security payment. And I guarantee you, most people have paid in a lot more than $100,000. A lot more.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick math. Say I started work when I was 25-ish. I retired at 65. And over the course of my entire career, say it averages about $1,000 per check. And I get paid twice a month, so $24,000 a year. That's damn near $1 million that I could have just had, but instead it goes to the government.
Yeah.
To divvy back out to me at a couple grand a month.
Yeah, maybe you get $2,500 a month or something. I forget. Yeah, it's not much. Okay. And how long would you have to live after 65 just to break even, Justin? Just to get your $1 million back. And by the way, like, not all years are created equal. I'd much rather have the money when I'm young and I have energy and my body works relatively well than when I'm like 60. Dude, who knows what condition you're going to be at 65? Oh, it is literally the worst fucking deal of all time. And it's amazing to me the level of propaganda, how successful they are. People like fucking Bernie Sanders at convincing gullible, naive Americans that this is a good deal. It's literally the worst deal I've ever fucking heard. Somebody should do like one of those skits where they offer you like a similar deal to this and see if anybody would take it. You just don't call it Social Security. Like nobody in their right mind would take this deal. Nobody.
Right. Be like, all right, I'm gonna take $1,000 a month from you, and I'm gonna hold on to it, and then when you're 65, I'm gonna give it back to you at $1,500, $2,000 a month for until you die.
After I destroyed 90% of its purchasing power.
For 40 years, you're going to give me $1,000 a month, and then for the last 10 years of your life, I'll give you $2,000 a month back.
Yeah. It's a fucking terrible, terrible idea. Okay, how much more we got of this? 2 minutes?
Minute and a half.
All right.
Only be not to cut Social Security. We've got to expand Social Security benefits and extend the solvency of Social Security for the next 75 years. And the way to do that, as most of you know, is to simply lift the cap on taxable income so that the wealthiest people in our country start paying their fair share of taxes. Right now, a billionaire, some guy's making zillions of dollars every year, pays the same amount into Social Security as someone who makes $176,000 a year. If we end that absurdity, we could expand Social Security benefits.
And see, that's another thing where they twist numbers. That billionaire pays the same percentage into Social Security, not the same amount, the same percentage. So do some fucking math. If he's making $1 billion, 16% of $1 billion is a lot more than 16% of 170,000. But like, it's the failure of understanding per capita thing. It's like people don't get math.
Well, and it's also their benefit, like the benefits are capped as well. So it's not like they're getting that much more money for what they pay into.
They're paying that much more in, but they don't get a similar amount back. Like they're still getting capped out on the tail end with what they can receive from Social Security. So ultimately they pay a lot more in than what they're ever going to get back out. Like it's fucking them already worse than what it's fucking anybody else, and it's already fucking everybody else pretty bad as it is. Like it's just fucking asinine. Go
It's
ahead.
by $2,400 a year, lift millions of seniors out of poverty and make sure that Social Security is solvent for generations to come without raising one penny in new taxes on the bottom 91% of Americans.
How many times have you heard that? 91%.
And I've introduced legislation to do just that.
You've introduced not shit. And
how many times have you heard that your taxes aren't going to go up a penny?
Remember when Biden said that this new plan of his wouldn't affect anybody making less than $400,000 a year, and then the very first fucking thing he signed in went after anybody making less than $200,000 a year right off the bat? It's like, okay, well, so we just threw that out. So that was a fucking lie. It's like,
yeah. And I remember when Obama capped it at like 250, and then all of a sudden it's 400, and the cap just keeps going up, and then they don't even abide by it. These people are fucking crooks. This is the most crooked government program of all time. And it's based, the whole thing is fraudulent. FDR had to fucking pack the courts and like a bunch of shady shit to get this fucking thing passed anyway, because it's completely unconstitutional. It's literally like it has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. But yes, people like getting some of their money back that was stolen from them. Yes, in that regard, it's popular. So, right, I guess if you're going to put a gun to my head and you're going to take 15% of everything I earn from age 15 to age 65, and you're going to give some of it back to me, yeah, I guess that's better than not getting anything back. But all else being equal, I'd rather just not have it taken from me in the first place. And if they gave me the opportunity to opt out of it right now and just keep everything I've already paid into it, I would take that fucking deal any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And anybody under the age of like fucking 45 or maybe even 50 should take that deal. And that's probably one of the ways that they should start getting rid of this. Is like, yeah, okay, means test it, get the billionaires out of there. They shouldn't be collecting Social Security anyway. Neither should people like Bernie Sanders that are millionaires with multiple houses. You shouldn't be getting Social Security. And like, dude, this is part of the reason why, like, all these young people, they can't afford fucking houses. All these boomers have like multiple houses and they're collecting Social Security. If they weren't getting Social Security, yeah, maybe they have to sell their fucking summer home, or maybe they have to sell their main home and downsize to a condo or an apartment. Maybe, yeah, okay, that's what you got to do. Maybe you have to start selling off some fucking assets to live out your golden years. You don't need a fucking 4-bedroom house when it's just two fucking old people puttering around. But because they get the Social Security, they gets to keep them. It's a little bump that keeps them living, at a higher standard of living, and keeps them in these fucking houses that the younger generation can't afford. And one of the reasons they can't afford it is because all this money is being taken from them to pay off current seniors. They've done an unbelievable job of fucking everything up, especially with this program. It is the worst goddamn thing the government has done in terms of finances, I should say, because they've done a lot of bad things. But when it comes to finance deals, this is the worst one I could possibly imagine. I couldn't fathom coming up with a deal that is worse for younger generations. And it continued. The longer the government lives, the worse the deal gets, because they just exacerbate every fucking problem. That this thing it's already insolvent. So I don't know what he's talking about, making it solvent for another 75 years. It just turned 90. So happy 90th birthday. Ironically, I think it had already been insolvent by the time it turned 65, which is pretty goddamn funny. But anyway, let's see. Is that enough on Social Security? Probably, right?
I think so.
Got anything else to add? Yeah, I think that about covers it. So before we switch gears, we can take a little break from our sponsor, the Expat Money Summit, October 10th through the 12th. Absolutely free for you to register. It's completely online, and this is hosted by a dear friend of the show, Mikkel Thorpe from Expat Money. He's going to have some great speakers there. I think this is at least the third time he's put this on. And it like I said, it's absolutely completely free. You'll learn how to protect your wealth, secure second residencies and citizenships, reduce your tax burden, which we've been talking a little bit about today, and even own property abroad, all designed to safeguard your freedoms. This year's focus is on Latin America, where opportunity is booming. Argentina is shifting to free markets. El Salvador is undergoing dramatic transformations. And Panama and Paraguay are offering simple residency programs. A Plan B is no longer optional. It is essential. So head on over to expatmoneysummit.com. Reserve your free ticket. There's going to be some great speakers there. Speaking of 90-year-olds, Ron Paul's going to be there. Still fucking plugging away, dude. That guy is amazing. But so yeah, there's going to be some really interesting talks. And if you listen to any of the rant that I put out this morning, it could help you avoid a lot of future headaches if you ever have to move abroad or move your finances abroad, and you're dealing with banks and regulations and verifications and all kinds of shit. It's really, anytime somebody talks about investing or something like that, what do they say? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, if all your eggs are in the fucking basket that Bernie Sanders is fucking carrying around, you're in trouble. You are in fucking trouble. You need to diversify your existence here. And it can be complicated and intimidating. Not a lot of people know how to navigate these other countries and their rules and regulations and things. Mikkel knows all of that shit. So I highly recommend checking that out. It is free. I believe they offer a VIP thing if you want extended extra content and things like that, but legitimately free. And you could learn a lot. So go check those guys out. And now that we got all the educational stuff out of the way, I suppose that was educational, maybe for some people. Wonder, dude, does Bernie ever fucking listen to anybody critique Social Security? Like, I would just love to see like a debate on that. I'd love to see somebody try to defend Social Security when they can't just fucking, exert these meaningless platitudes and fucking just because they say it's a great program. Anyway, it is Friday. We're going to have a little fun for the last part of the show. What do we got?
Hang on. You talked about needing to diversify. It brought me to one of my favorite clips ever from the Chappelle Show.
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.
That's pretty good.
Did you ever watch the Chappelle Show? That shit was hilarious.
A little bit, but not much.
I guess I was a college freshman when the first season came out, and me and my roommate would sit down, like we'd get all of our shit done, and we'd sit down and watch it when it came out live every Thursday night. Like when it was on, we were glued to the TV because it's like, is he getting canceled this week? Like what crazy shit is going to be on this week? Like it was nuts. I've got the box set of the two the 2 seasons that he did, and then they did like a half-ass third season where they just kind of like put out all the stuff that they had already recorded, and then he like lost his mind and went to Africa and everything else. Like it was good shit.
Yeah, I mean there are some classic, like, dude, the blind black white supremacist or whatever. That's a great one.
I watched the first 2 episodes of the first season with the kids, like, because they've heard me make references to it before, but they didn't know what it was. I was like, all right, I've got the box set. Like, sit down. I had them sit down right here, and I popped in the DVD. I was like, we're gonna watch some Chappelle Show. We watched the first 2 episodes, and the whole time they're both like, this was on TV. Like, yes, this was on.
Yeah, dude, there will never be anything like that again.
The 2000s were fucking wild. Speaking of, we were talking about this a little bit before we started the show, and this clip has been making its rounds on the internet. A show called Butterface from the 2000s, where they'd have otherwise hot chicks come up with a bag on their face, and then you get to see.
And this was Howard Stern, right?
I can't remember. I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
So here we go. Here's the Butterface chick.
Off the bag. Here we go, and let's see the face.
Is that a speed bump on the way?
Stacy, it's got to be hard when the crowd starts.
Oh, dear.
James, you give her the microphone so I can talk to her. Stacy, it's got to be tough when the crowd starts freaking out when you take the bag off your head. Is it hard for you?
No, not really.
How did you end up here in the Butterface? Did some guy tell you about it?
No, actually, my friend Candace entered me into it. Wow. Did you?
Dude, I don't know, dude. I don't think that chick's very ugly.
No,
I've seen much worse. I saw everybody in that crowd was much worse. She does have a banging body. But I mean, dude, I don't think she's wearing any makeup in there, right? Like, she's not all dolled up.
Yeah, like her hair's not fixed up. She's no makeup on. Just this is her in a bikini with a bag on her head, and she takes the bag off. Like,
yeah, what a dick fucking show that was, dude. I know. I make fun of like fucking fat people and shit all the time on here, but like, dude, to put somebody up there and just like make fun of them for having an ugly face, even though that chick didn't have an ugly face. I don't think there's anything wrong with her. I bet you, dude. No, like, first of all, Howard Stern is an ugly motherfucker. Artie Lang, a fucking heroin addict. Artie Lang is making calling you ugly, a fat fucking retard heroin addict, junkie. Okay, everybody in that fucking crowd, dude, I bet you 90% of the guys in that crowd couldn't fucking bag that chick if they wanted to.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, there's an extended clip where she comes up on stage and like walks around on stage before they're like, okay, take the bag off, and like, yeah, she's fucking smoke show, like 10 out of 10 body, and she's pretty enough. Like,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you saw her like walking down the street or something, you wouldn't be like, oh, what an ugly face.
So like, keep in mind whenever we say that, like, you know, these purple-haired wildebeests are some of the ugliest things we've ever seen. Our generation thought that chick was ugly. So like,
yeah.
Y'all are really, really like dragging the bottom of the fucking barrel these days.
Yeah. What a cruel show, dude.
Well, then there's the other clip that you had commented on. And this one, we need to, I hit the wrong thing. We need to put some context on this, but we'll watch the clip and then we'll give it the context. Hang on, let me grab it.
This would be great for the people that are just listening to.
Yeah.
Because I believe this is a blind thing. They put up like a curtain.
Okay, I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down for any good adventure. I just got scuba dive certified and I'm planning to go to Australia this summer. So I'm super excited about that. And then I just picked up skiing like 2 years ago. And I honestly love any themed party. Like, those are like my favorite things to go to, my favorite things to plan. And I'm looking for someone that wants to be my adventure buddy, and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
Aww.
Yeah. So this is I believe they put up like a curtain. These are Mormons, apparently. At least the guys are Mormons, from what I understand.
what they don't show in this clip, they edit the clip really well. If you look right down here in the lower right-hand corner, you can see there's a curtain up. So like this got put out on the internet this week of, oh, look how terrible these guys are. It's like, well, they can't see her. Like, they don't know that she's pretty average looking. She's, I guess we could back it up. Like, she's also not ugly, but she's, you know, she's very average. They're like, oh, if she, and there were a bunch that were like, oh, if she was a 10, all of these guys would be jumping at it. They're like, she could be a fucking 15. It doesn't matter. They can't see her. All they get out of this is they hear her voice and they hear what she says. And I mean, regardless of the words that were coming out of her mouth, her voice grated on me anyway. Like,
well, right. She doesn't have a great voice. There's like a little bit of a lisp in there. There's something like she has a retainer or something. But so looks aside, because they can't see her. And did you notice how like all the women were like, oh, like that's so nice. Yeah, women think that this is a great quality in women. And dude, there was some chick that was going off. Like she was super angry that none of the guys were interested in her. They don't understand how unappealing I love to travel and I want to be like go on adventures. I want an adventure buddy. No, like, dude, 90% of guys do not want that in a woman. We're not looking for an adventure buddy. We don't want to fucking pay for all your goddamn vacations. Yeah, there's the curtain. So they can't see her. If they did see her, it probably makes it even worse. Like if she was a 10 and she's like, oh yeah, I love to travel, and be like, okay, yeah, I love to travel too. Like, but that, like, a lot of times that's a fucking major red flag. We don't care if you can fucking scuba dive and ski. It's just a bunch of more activities that we have to be dragged to that we don't want to do. Like men want to fucking go skiing and shit, and it's with their boys. It's not with their fucking old lady. All right. Women don't seem to understand this. They think that, oh yeah, like this is so cool. Like she's such a catch. No, men don't want that. Most men do not want that.
How do you feel about drinking at a bar and going to sporting events? Like that's what. Like if I want to go skiing and scuba diving and shit, I'm going with my friends. I love my wife to death. I absolutely do not want anything to fucking do with my wife skiing, scuba diving, anything like that. Even if she actually liked doing those things, 80% of it is going to be me having to help her or deal with her while doing it. Whereas if I go with my friends, we're trying to kill each other, and it's fucking hilarious. Like,
yeah, it's not like, I don't know if they've just been propagandized to think that this is like qualities that guys look like. They want some boss bitch adventure chick that loves to travel. Like, I love to travel. It's so fucking cliche. First of all, I love to travel. I want an adventure buddy. It's like, yeah, no, that sounds exhausting and kind of expensive. And you're not hot enough, but they can't even see it. They can't even see that. They're just going off of what they hear, and that is not appealing.
Get some female friends if you want an adventure buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. With the girls trips, that's like another red fucking flag too. But yeah, there's just like, dude, I don't know how to explain this to all these women out there, but like men, the vast majority of men are not looking for an adventure buddy in their wife. They're not. They're looking for somebody to, you know, help raise the kids, you know, keep the fucking house in order. Yeah, you'll go on vacation like once a year or something like that. But we're not going like scuba diving on the weekends together. Like if I get some fucking, like we're together fucking 7 days a week. If I get an opportunity to go fishing or some shit, I'm going with my fucking boys. I'm not going with you. No offense. It's just a lot. That whole my wife is my best friend thing is the most retarded fucking thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry. I do not want a best friend wife. I have a best friend, and I'd much rather go on adventures with him, you know, for a couple days a year than do that with some chick, dude. That's not what we're looking for.
Personally, I think I have like the perfect marriage. We see each other half the time because I work nights and she works days. So whenever I'm at work, she's at home and vice versa. So on my days off is when we really get to spend time together. And we go do stuff like normal shit together just to get away from the kids and have some like time for us. Like we don't go do these crazy adventures or any bullshit. We're too old, and my knees hurt and her feet hurt. Like we want to have nice quiet time together where we just do shit. And even when I was younger, like when I was younger, you know, the age of the ones in this video, I worked 80 hours a week. When I had time off, I didn't want to go fucking skiing and scuba diving and shit. I wanted to like, let's chill out, find a nice place to go eat, like, you know, something calm.
Yeah, like maybe a romantic date or something like that. And I get, like, it's nice to have things that you like to do in common, but it's not the selling point that you think it is, ladies. I'm telling you. Especially the travel. Like, oh, I love to travel. The second, especially if you've counted the countries you've been to, that to me, like as soon as I like somebody's like, oh, I've been to like 37 countries and counting, I'm immediately fucking turned off. Immediately. And by the way, I every single guy is thinking, okay, if you've been to 37 countries, you at least fucked one guy in each one of those countries. Like, I'm sorry. Like, again, not a strong selling point. Who goes to a different country and doesn't fuck somebody? Anyway, like, it's not appealing. It just really isn't to the vast majority of guys. I'm sure there's a small number of guys out there that yeah, they want somebody that they can go scuba diving with. Those are the guys that I can't hang out with personally. Not somebody I want to have a beer with, but I'm sure they're out there. They're definitely not the Mormons that are in that room, but yeah. It was so interesting to like read through some of these comments, and every single chick was supportive of it, and every dude was just like totally understood, like, yeah, no, that's gonna be a no, not interested. And women, either they're intentionally encouraging people to do things that is going to not yield the results they're looking for, or they're just completely clueless as to what men want. But it was very interesting to see every woman think that was, oh, she's a total catch. She's so cute. And dude, beyond, like, she seems like a perfectly pleasant girl. It's just the way she pitched herself is that's the wrong pitch. That's the absolute wrong pitch. We're not impressed by like things that women have accomplished, you know? We really aren't. And we don't want to go to like Australia with you. Probably not. Maybe we do, but like constant, oh yeah, I'm always up for adventure and I love to try. That's, yeah, no, not always up for an adventure. I understand why chicks are. Yeah, I'm always up for somebody to take me on a free adventure too. Hey, take me to Australia. It only costs you like 15 grand.
Let's go skiing. That's
yeah.
Probably how much does skiing cost anymore?
Dude, I'm just so afraid I'd get injured at this point. You go skiing and you fucking tear your ACL or something. Sorry, that juice is not worth the squeeze. Oh shit. Yeah, dude, women. There's a major disconnect between what men want and what women think they want. I don't know. Men are pretty like, yeah, I don't really understand what women want. We don't try to pretend like we completely understand them. But this is just, it's so far off base. And they get super angry, dude. This one post I commented on as well. Like this chick was going on. Like she was so angry. And just, you know, calling these guys all kinds of names, fucking losers, incels. And based on, because what? Because they're not interested in, they have to be interested in the I love to travel, I'm an adventure girl personality, the cliche fucking personality. If they're not interested in that, that makes them incel fucking losers with nothing to offer. Like they didn't say a word. They just sat there. They're just like, yeah, that's not for me. It's not for everybody. And apparently it's not for the vast majority of men. You can get angry about it, but that's the breaks. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
You're not gonna propagandize us into liking that shit. I'm sorry.
Well, and even if she was just an absolute smoke show, anybody that did go out with her would get fed up with that shit real fucking quick. Like if that's because women tend to make that their entire personality, like liking that stuff and wanting to do that stuff, and that shit gets old fast.
It certainly does.
Like everybody has a female friend that gets really into something and they just beat it to fucking death, and you end up not that it was something that you didn't like to begin with, but by the time you're like a few months into their loving it so much, you don't want anything to do with it ever again.
Like how many themed parties do you think you could suffer through? You know what I mean? That's like the, okay, I will go to one themed party a year because I love you. And the other thing I don't understand about women, maybe you guys can, maybe some of the ladies out there can explain this. What is the fucking urge to get men to do things that you know they don't want to do, but you want to force them to do it anyway? I don't understand that impulse. I never have. But man, they will drag you to, you know, the gayest fucking thing possible, knowing full well that you don't want to be there, but somehow they get like satisfaction out of that. I would never do that. I would never want to drag my girl to something that I know she's going to be miserable at. Why would you want to do that? Anyway, we got some more things to make fun of women about, I think. What else we got? A couple more?
Well, I don't know if it's making fun of women exactly. This was Dylan Mulvaney's most recent.
What we're living through is something that in the history books will be written about, and I want to make sure that my piece of it is advocacy. And it's interesting because people often put me as an activist when I'm really just a musical theater girl who now wrote a book. But I think if I was to be able to speak directly to trans people, I would tell them that the parts of us that they are attacking are the best parts of us, and that it's what makes us special and it's magic. And hopefully they can see that. And if the folks who maybe don't see me as a woman, which is such a shame, but I just hope that they can find a trans person who they can connect with to see that we are not monsters, that we're not trying to hurt anyone, and that we're really just doing our best the same as everyone else.
That looks like it's on The View. Was that recent? I recognize that V anywhere.
I mean, I was more looking at the face that Dylan's making here at the end. I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah. Crazy eyes. The crazy fucking eyes. Yeah, not gonna see you as a woman, dude. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. But you know, it takes all kinds. Yeah, the best things about you.
And the thing is, like, I know a couple trannies who are like, they're fine. They're decent folks. They also don't spend any time trying to push it. They don't make a big deal of it. They like the reason that people get so turned off to it, the reason that people have kind of started to push back against it is because you have such a just in your face, you have to accept everything about it's like the ones who are and are cool, like they're fine. I don't have any problem. You know? Like
right, like okay, have fun. But
like
yeah, you don't have to shove it down my throat.
Nobody gave a fuck if you were gay. Just don't make that your entire personality and then push it on everybody else. It's like, okay, like you're gay, cool. Nobody gives a fuck until you make it such. It's like we were talking about with the women, and they find the thing that they latch onto and they just beat it to death until everybody around them hates that thing. That's the way these like gay activists and trans activists do this, is they take it and they make it such a in your face, like you have to do this, you have to accept this, you have to get on board with all of this, until everybody's just like, you know what? Fuck you. Like I was cool with it until you stopped letting me just be cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants anything forced on them. So, okay. Yeah. You want to go pretend you're a fucking woman. It affects me. 0. Doesn't affect me at all. Don't care. But the second, you start trying to push, like start pushing for legislation and shit like that, then you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have a lot of fucking problems. Yeah. So, anyway, speaking of fucking freak shows, dude, pull up that thing I sent you. It's the Clown World post. I don't know. Do you know what this is?
I have no idea what this is. Maybe somebody can explain it for us. What the fuck is gray sexuality, and why does it have some experts concerned? Like, I'm assuming it's just.
Should we ask Grok?
It's just another word for bisexual, right? Like, gray sexuality means their sexuality is in some sort of a gray area. So they're like they're just fucking androgynous, and we don't know what they are.
Maybe. But yeah, I was wondering if anybody also known as sexual orientation on the asexual spectrum, where persons experience sexual attraction infrequently, weakly, or under specific circumstances. It's a middle ground between asexuality and allosexuality, so no sexual attraction and regular sexual attraction. Okay.
So it's a rare feeling of sexual attraction. Like,
yeah, rarely feel sexual attraction, experience attraction less intense. Okay, so you don't have like a high sex drive?
So it's just,
we got to come up with a term for that?
It's just like married. It's just married women.
Okay, yeah, gray sexuality. All right, well, at least we learned something.
I don't like learning anymore.
I don't want to learn anymore.
I'm done with learning. It's not fun anymore. I think we should do the British cops on Tuesday, because the weekend's going to be slow, and that's one that we can talk about for a while.
Okay.
And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about with the British cops, don't look it up. Let us break you into it on Tuesday, because that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, oh god, dude. Couldn't, like, with each passing year, it's like, oh man, I'm so glad we declared independence from those fucking retards. Those inbred fucking retards. Yeah, we got that. There was a fight that broke out. And then we do have that Subway sandwich dude that fucking got charged with a felony for chucking the Subway sandwich at the FBI agents. But I'm sure most people have fucking heard that one by now, right?
I'll put the Subway one on the Facebook group, because that could be a fun one for the Facebook folks. Okay,
dude, and just by the way, this is like somewhat related but unrelated. This guy posted something about just the prices of everything. He said a foot-long Subway cost $19.46. That's just the sandwich. That's not like a combo meal or something. And I know we're both old enough to remember the $5 footlong commercial.
I feel like that can't be right. Like, there's a Jimmy John's a block away from Katie's school, and so I'm a Jimmy John's reward member, because she'll walk down there and get lunch and stuff, and log in with my phone number and get deals on sandwiches and stuff. And like, I get emails all the time about Jimmy John's is not that expensive. Like, if Subway is $19 for a fucking foot long, find a different place.
Yeah. Or I don't know where he is either. So maybe he's like in LA or something. I don't know. But dude, I would send my buddy Jimmy John's like every couple of months, because I on one of my credit cards I was getting all these DoorDash credits. I'd get like $15 like racked up, and I'd send him a Jimmy John's. And at a certain point it ended up costing more. Like, the actual sandwich was like over $15. It was like $18 or something. That was for like the jumbo turkey one, the big turkey one or whatever. But like, with like delivery and tip and taxes and shit, it was like $23 or something to get a turkey sandwich delivered. That's in Fort Lauderdale, and that was like a year ago. So Like I've said many times, I don't know where they're getting these basket of goods that they use to calculate the CPI, but if they're going to open up these government grocery stores, they should open them up with the CPI goods that we can buy at these prices that have only gone up by 2.7%, because that's fucking bullshit, dude. Like, that is absolutely fucking bullshit. But yeah, that'll do it for this lovely Friday afternoon. Not for me, but I bet everybody else is having a good Friday. My Friday sucks.
I gotta go pick up a car.
Yeah, you get a new car. I don't get a new jet ski. I got stopped out of 4 fucking trades today at break even. 4 fucking times. So at least I didn't take a loss.
There you go.
At least I didn't take a loss.
Silver linings.
Yeah. But sorry, I'm just checking the markets here because they are now closed. And looks like I'm going to take assignment on a couple of things. No big deal. But yeah, not a great day in the markets. We got some down across the board, I think. Is the Dow up? Yeah, Dow finished up 34 points, 35 points. Okay. Congratulations. Everything else is down. But yeah, that'll another one in the books. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Thank you so very much for listening. I put out a Substack rant for you. If you haven't listened to that already, you need a little more content this weekend. You want to listen to me complain about banks and other online bullshit, feel free to check that out. And until Tuesday, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.